Hey everybody, welcome to 3D Hangouts with myself, Noe, and Pedro Ruiz. How are you guys doing today?
Hey guys, I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech here at Adafruit. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, so we come out here every week, every Thursday at 3 p.m. ET to share about some 3D printing projects, some news, and some other cool things. Yeah?
Yeah, that's right. So it's Thursday, feels like a Friday again.
That's
We're going to be working on some cool new things over the weekend. We got some new printers coming in,
That's right.
more material.
We're testing a lot of material stuff. And this week we got some cool tests to show you guys.
Yeah, so every week we have a couple cool segments to go over.
Yeah, we'll start off with the prototype segment. So what are you prototyping? Kind of internal news. We got some 3D news for you, external news, some things that we think you should know about it. And we have a weekly video every week. We got a video for you guys. This week it's a review of some new material. And then we ended off with a layer-by-layer segment. We'll take a look at some CAD and some techniques and things that you might benefit from in your 3D printed projects.
Yeah.
So, without further ado,
what are we prototyping?
Yeah,
well,
we're gonna prototype stuff. So why don't you start that up, and I will get.
Actually, stay on this camera. Yeah.
You want to stay on this camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
This big guy. Yeah. So over the weekend, you're gonna have some fun with the new 3D printers coming out. I unfortunately have to go to a wedding, so of course they asked me to 3D print something. So I got this big old ginormous cake topper that it's gonna go on the wedding cake.
That's a big wedding cake, but you know weddings are big.
Yeah. So
can be.
Yeah, you could definitely print this out in like laser cut or acrylic or something like that. But it's a lot cooler when you can not have to waste any material, throw away a big old sheet of something.
Oh, as opposed to like a laser cutter.
Yeah.
Because you could totally do that on a laser cutter.
Yeah. So cool little thing. Glad I could bring that into the wedding.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna have too much fun drinking or anything like that because they have me doing photos there. It's family, of course.
I'd help you out, but
photos are free.
I got some things to do. But other cool things, we got a mess of things here to show you guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make sense of all this stuff.
So one of the cool things that we can show off is for next week's project.
Oh, man, this is a fun one. This is a mobile Raspberry Pi, all-in-one touchscreen device, right? So we got a Raspberry Pi A+, and we're using our Adafruit 3.5-inch Pi TFT, which just fits on top. It's also got a battery in there, a 2500 milliamp battery, and a Power Boost 500, so it's regulating the 5 volts that you need to power a Pi. You get access to all the controls, all the ports, and it's a pretty neat device. We've been using it for monitoring all of our 3D printers. So we got our Astro Pi on there, but you could also run OctoPi if you'd like. And it's a really cool device. I think a lot of people will like it and hopefully modify it because it's designed in a way where it's open to modify.
Yeah, there's been a couple of Kickstarters out there that are trying to get out a little touch display, but you can already get these in the shop. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guide will be live soon, probably before the video, so we'll check that out. Other stuff, Pedro, did you want to show a claw shot maybe?
Oh yeah.
Or is that for next time? I'll switch over to this camera.
So we showed this during the show and tell. A little bit more detail on this ginormous.
Yeah, last week you showed this off. This time you've glued it together and you've put a nice finish, paint finish on it. So tell us a little bit about what is this and where it's from.
Yeah, so it's from Link or Zelda.
Yeah, so
and
this is one of Link's weapons.
Yeah, so it's like a grappling hook that he uses to get across on a
claw shot.
Yeah,
very cool.
Should definitely print another one so we can do like the dual claw shot.
Yeah, and what print was this printed on?
So this is on the Type A Series 1 machine. It has an enormous build plate. It's like 308 by 308 by 308, so a little bit bigger than the tabs that we have behind here. And the precision that we're getting out of this is phenomenal. Yeah, so 100 microns on these guys, and the cool thing that I really like about it is that it's able to produce support material that you can literally just flick right off. So it's excellent for a lot of like organic shapes and things like that. So this printed directly up like that. All the support material was on here, and it left no like blemishes or marks on any of the surface of the material. So definitely working on a review for that. And
Simplify 3D, right?
Oh yeah, and Simplify 3D is the best tool for doing your supports. Mesh Mixer has some pretty good ones too, but some of the tree support structures that you make in a Mesh Mixer isn't as good for
users will agree with me and say that that's one of the main reasons to get Simplify 3D. You probably hear about it a lot, and we'll be sure to make a cool review video about it.
Kind of pricey, but yeah, we'll do a review on it since everybody's always curious on different slicers, and some of the slicing algorithms in it is pretty good.
It's pretty nice. Yeah. Okay, and that's our prototype segment.
Let's cut into some news.
Let's talk about some news, huh? Okay, we got news for you. So we were checking out Reddit, the subreddit 3D printing. We was finding a lot of user-generated content, and this is one of them that we found. So what is this, Pedro?
So some guy went out and 3D printed a whole skateboard.
It's a whole skateboard. It's a penny board. It's a really small skateboard.
So it's a little mini longboard, I think is what he's calling it.
But he printed it on a pretty small printer bot. Or an M2, sorry, an M2 gear, maker gear. I think it's called.
Yeah. So the whole, you can get all the download files on Thingiverse.com. We'll put a link in the show note too. Of
course. And it's in the blog right now already.
Yeah. So he's using some rods in here to sort of support it. Yeah. Now everything isn't 3D printed. The trucks and the wheels aren't, and he's using some plastic dip too, plastic dip to sort of cover it up. So this is awesome because you know, boards will eventually break with all the little tricks and stuff that you do on them. So it's pretty cool that you can recreate one without having to spend too much effort.
It leaves a lot of opportunity to design something custom to you. Maybe you want some cool logos or something on it, or a cool pattern on it. But I like how he sort of, I made a skateboard this week. I 3D printed a skateboard this weekend, and I lived. So shout out to you, Cher, for making this and living and telling about it.
Yeah. So we definitely got to temple this with the LED longboard projects that we've worked on.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So it's something that you could definitely build into the design if you wanted to print this guy out.
It works. That's so cool. And another story that we saw, this one was on Google Plus community. This is a gentleman who built and designed his own custom DIY DSLR rig. If you know us, we do a lot of, we like our rigs. And we have quite a bit of rigs, but this is really cool that you can design your own and customize it to your sort of needs. So what he really wanted to do is to make a rig where you can access things like the camera battery and certain ports. So he so he hooked up a couple rods and of course all the screw nuts and things to put together his own frame, his own rig system.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody has their own techniques when filming, so it's very cool that you can customize your own rig too.
Yeah, this really. There's a lot of DIY filmmakers out there, and making your own DIY gear is a big thing, and I think 3D printing just fits so damn good.
Yeah, especially when you're starting off, the gear is freaking pricey for this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you can 3D print your own, get some prototypes out, and see what fits your filming style.
And we've made some things, right?
Yeah, more tent pulling on past projects we've done. Worked on a slider.
Let's go ahead and look at the overhead.
And this is one of our popular ones, too. You can build a little LED ring for your lens here. This is cool. It has a trinket, little 500 milliamp battery inside, and I think there's a 24 neopixel ring on there. So you have that awesome light ring look in your eyes when you're doing photography.
Just don't blind yourself.
Yeah, don't put in.
But if you want to see this project and the other project, we have it up on the blog.
Yeah, we have a ginormous one with the 60-pixel neopixel ring. You definitely check that out.
We also have the slider too. Which is
cool. We have a cool slider.
We got quite a few DIY camera projects.
I'm sure we'll work on more.
But I like seeing that one because it inspires us to make other cool camera things.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next story, we got an update for you guys from Mr. James Bruton from X Robots. Hopefully you guys remember James Bruton. We a couple months ago we collaborated on a project. This is the Hulkbuster suit. This is a massive build that he's undertaking. It's been a couple months now. I think this is part 23 or 22, and he's got quite a few other projects in the works as well. But in this update, he is going through and finishing all the parts. He's getting rid of all the cardboard. So there he is, removing all the cardboard and really figuring out the contour and sort of the frame, the underlining frame that's going to connect everything together. So it's really fun to watch this every week and see him sort of solve things and invent new ways of mounting things together. And I really like seeing.
It's the idea of the way that mechanical structures are moving that really sort of tickles our fancy on. Oh wow, that's a good idea for designing a part this way.
Yeah, and it's just a big project. His projects are so big in scale, and it's really fun to see how he pieces everything out and he's planning everything sort of as he goes. But it's still really cool. So definitely check out James Bruton.
Yeah, can't wait to see our Unibeam installed in there, seeing all that working.
Right. Yeah, be sure to check out that episode too if you haven't seen that one already. It's up on the blog, adafruit.com/blog. Yay.
Next up.
And then next up, if I can get there. Next up, it is going to be some photos. This one's cool.
Yeah, a cool blog tip that came into us. Very awesome staircase car from Arrested Development. Not too familiar with the show, but really love the Pixar style, sort of style that he modeled using this.
Yeah, this looks so good. He used the inkjet printer to make the sort of the graphics on there, but everything else is 3D printed. The wheels, the little staircase, and everything.
And what I like
look at that smile.
What I think is so fascinating about this is that he modeled all this inside of Maya.
That's right. So here's a screenshot of sort of his pieces that are all broken up, and it's really cool to see Maya because we sort of moved away from it in terms of like doing it for solid modeling.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to see a visual effects package being used to make.
I see myself going back into Maya for an upcoming project.
I wonder what it'll be. Robot maybe?
No, I think a sword.
Oh, the one sword?
Yeah.
The one Lamar wants?
Yeah, no, we like 123D a lot for doing a lot of the models,
stuff,
yeah, but sometimes you just need to be able to move vertices in ways that 123D just can't handle.
Or use linear deformers.
Yeah, or use linear deformers,
Come
or
on.
do some particle simulations.
Yeah, that looks great.
Freeze the transformation on it.
And you can do a nice render.
Yeah. So this is probably all rigged up, probably talks, so that's another cool thing that you can do with mine.
Of course.
Moving on to...
I don't know, I'm afraid to click on that one. Oh, we got some sort of news, yeah. We got the PrinterBot Metal.
Yeah,
simple PrinterBot Metal Plus.
The bigger printer to the PrinterBot Simple Metal is in stock and shipping. We have these in the shop. I think ours gets delivered tomorrow, so
excellent.
We will definitely do a full review on this guy.
That's right.
And of course, speaking of PrinterBot and Brooke Jerome, if anybody caught that show, what is it, All American Maker?
That's right.
We DVR'd it. We got to watch it, but yeah, it's pretty cool that we have a couple maker shows now on TV.
And it's sort of the lineup, right? You start off with Wherever Wednesday, then you get the Show and Tell, then you get Ask an Engineer, and then to top it all off at the end of the day, you get All American Makers.
Yeah.
So check that out.
If anybody wants to get any of these cool projects or parts to build any of these cool projects,
I think we have a coupon code.
10% off.
It's Flex. I wonder why. Is this a good segue to the? Yeah, it expires today at 11:59 p.m. So you can use it on all 3D printed related things and other things. It just doesn't work on EcoCAD and gift certificates.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Now we're gonna look at this week's video.
Oh wait, forgot one news story that's gonna segue right into the.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. This is a pretty cool story. I mean, it has some useful applications that should spark some some other ideas.
Here it is. Got it for you. What is this thing?
So it's an egg yolk separator.
An egg yolk separator.
Yeah.
How?
So they're using NinjaFlex.
They're
using NinjaFlex to actually act as like the thing that pumps it in and squirts it out. That's pretty cool use of NinjaFlex there.
Yeah, that's very creative.
So they're using two materials here. I think it's PLA for the top or for the bottom part.
Oh, really? So
they're printing it at I think 100% to sort of cut down on food particles getting cut on there. But I probably wouldn't recommend building this.
It's a good proof of concept, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure food particles are definitely gonna get caught in all of the layers in that.
Yeah.
And I think if you run it through the wash too, I think we've ran some PLA tests in the wash and it definitely didn't make it out.
Yeah, PLA not so good. TPE material will probably do some good.
Yeah,
if that was all printed in TPE material, NinjaFlex, it probably would be okay.
Yeah.
But check it out. It's on Thingiverse and on the blog. So, without further ado,
let's check out this week's
video.
Which is really more of a review than a project.
Yeah. But we printed several projects with it.
Yeah. So we're taking a look at NinjaFlex's new flexible material. They call it SemiFlex.
It's a lot like NinjaFlex, but it's got a couple different characteristics. Mainly, there's less elasticity and there's more rigidity.
Mm-hmm.
So that means when you print something with a lot of detail, you're going to get really nice detail. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you saw our NinjaFlex video before, and we recommend there's a lot of cleanup involved. Of course, you got to get your Haku snippers out and clean up the goobers. But this one seems to do very good on the Z height quality.
Yeah, so here we're comparing it to the PC TPE, which we made a video.
I checked out
before.
Yep. And we like the material, but it does require a little bit more. It requires a heated bed and quite a bit of glue to get that thing to stick. A lot of bit of warping. We did some vigorous tests on flexibility and durability, and here's what we got, right?
Yeah, so the SemiFlex is able to completely go into a knot here, and you can unknot it as well. Yeah, so it's maintain your rigidity.
As far as printing it,
it prints way better than NinjaFlex, as you can see here. To get it to be able to stick to itself, for infill, you'd have to go up to like 30% in some cases.
This is like super overhang right here.
Yeah, and with SemiFlex, you're able to stay at 10% and still be able to print without it, with all the layers like hanging over.
That's right. And this is a good example. So we're printing our LED fire horns that we made a couple months ago, and this is a really challenging print, especially for TPE material, because there's a lot of overhanging there. See how it kind of goes.
Yeah. You don't need to have a heated or enclosed enclosure for this to keep all the heat in there. PCTPE sort of have to.
Yep. And here you're printing out our Flora wristband that you made I think a year ago.
Yeah, so this would have been way better material to print or to do the Flora wristband project in, because the walls on it are pretty thin for when we use the original NinjaFlex, and that sort of tended to flop over. It's not really rigid, if you can see here.
Yeah, let me go over there real quick, huh? Overhead.
Yeah, so here's the Flora wristband that we made, I think, earlier last year. It's just a Flora on the inside with a accelerometer on the outside, and sort of just for motion when you're doing exercising. So the back here cover would have been excellent to do this in SemiFlex, just because of how thin I had to make the walls, make everything fit, without making it too big. And just look at how floppy that is. And the walls in here didn't even close all the way. So this is, I wouldn't even have to change the model on this if I printed it in SemiFlex. It would be a lot more rigid than this, and while still maintaining flexibility.
Okay.
So the print settings are, you can bump up a little bit of the retraction, as you can see here.
So this is a good retraction test.
Yeah, this is a cool little bunny from
Bulb Zone.
People over at Bulb Zone. They're in France.
Yeah,
and you can see right in the ears there, the retraction just fares way better than the original NinjaFlex.
This is like my favorite test. So we've been playing with NinjaFlex a lot, and we're like, you know what? Why don't I print my Raspberry Pi B+ case on it and see what happens? It freaking worked. It worked really well. I've printed a lot of cases out before, and the one thing about cases that you printed in plastic is, well, they can break. Yeah. They can break.
As soon as NinjaFlex came out, we stopped printing. Like one of the first things that we usually print, sort of like the hello world in 3D printing, is an iPhone case. So before NinjaFlex, we'd print an ABS one or PLA one like once every month, because as soon as you drop it, it's going to crack on you. Yeah. With NinjaFlex,
it changed the game, dude.
Totally changed the game. Yeah, it'll just bounce around.
So we're saying it's changing the game again, because this is a case that can't break. Here you're cleaning up some goobers. We do recommend Haku flush.
Yeah, when you have a ton of islands, you're not going to be able to help.
And this was printed on the low spot. It's a little bit of
but
look at that. Look at the insane. So we did this same test on the PCTPE material from Tallman, and it didn't fare too well. There's a little bit of adhesion problem. This one, you did not have any adhesion problem. It's super duper flexible. Very good.
Virtually indestructible. Yeah, I really thought that standoffs would break off there.
No way. And this was a great excuse to get 240 frame a second footage of it bouncing on the asphalt.
Yeah. So testing out. What we're really testing out here is the shock absorption.
Can we watch that again?
There I go. Wow. Another cool thing is for wearables. We like making a lot of these little snap-on parts for our bracelets, and these definitely hold up a lot better when you have more rigidity.
Yeah. And the quality of it came out so damn good.
Yeah. So the pins here on the Flora wristband, the little pins in there hold up a lot better and snap in, and are able to hold it a lot tighter than the original NinjaFlex.
Very cool.
Another cool little characteristic of SemiFlex is that it has less elongation. It has more pull strength. As you can see, the gray there is the original NinjaFlex.
Right.
It'll just keep, because of its elasticity, it'll just keep, sort of like rubber band, it'll just keep sort of.
And on the same testing of grippiness and, I guess grippiness and.
No, I think this one is the cushioning test. Yeah. So here on the white is the original NinjaFlex. You can see how little absorption it has. Yeah, it's really squishy, and the SemiFlex holds up a lot better. Another useful thing that we're using it, every day around the house is we got some new couches, and they were just sliding all over the place, as you saw in that last
clip. So we need some grippies.
Yeah, so we were just testing here, how grippy the new SemiFlex is. It's not that grippy. It's pretty smooth, so it would work for if you wanted to slide something around, like the table that we have here.
Or my iPhone case, so it doesn't get stuck in my my pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a really good use case there.
Yep, this is a case where you'd want to use the original Ninja Flex, since it has a lot more gripping power there.
I know. So to summarize,
we have a lot of use cases for this thing.
Really good
works in cases, cushioning, anything it needs. Like in wearables, if it needs to be big and it still needs to maintain, its shape and not flop over. Has better retraction, and it's better for making, parts that, snap together.
That's right. And that is Ninja Flex. We got a couple other interesting things that didn't make it in the video.
Yeah, there's
like
always
this,
things that
the
make
spiky
it,
thing, just to show off a little bit of detail there with a cosplay wearable element. This is a little cuff I put up on Thingiverse not too long ago, but I designed it specifically to for Ninja Flex.
Yeah, so here's a little part that snaps in. That's great. And
it prints
compared,
flat. Yeah. That's the thing about this. It prints flat, so it is built to bend. And I built this actually a year ago, the same but for PLA, and I had to actually twist it and warp it because you couldn't.
So you have to print it like this.
Yeah, so I had to print it up like that. And this way you can print it flat, getting better detail on these spikes. And the spikes are they're rigid, but they're not gonna hurt you, which is really cool because it's got that extra like durability built into it.
So when we compare it to the original Ninja Flex, which we have here, you can definitely see all the retraction issues on that. So we didn't do any cleanup on these, and if you can tell with the black on black there. Yeah. And other things, of course, like we were saying before, the iPhone cases. One of the first things that we
have two versions of it, by the way. We have a thick version and a really thin version. Now, the thin version interests me a lot because you were going for how can I make this the thinnest but still not flop over, and this is mine. It's a little bit thicker. And
this is the original.
It's so funny when I pick up your phone, it feels so much thinner and lighter than mine, just because of your case design.
Yeah, because these phones are so big now. I mean, every little millimeter that you can shave off really helps a ton. Yeah.
But I'm sure if mine falls and 10 more feet, mine will probably survive.
You tend to break things more easier than me.
Yeah, that's why I made it thicker.
That's why you made it thicker. Why you need it thicker.
Yeah.
But yeah,
check these out on Thingiverse. Right?
Yeah, all of the files are on Umage and Thingiverse if you want to download these.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to jump into a layer by layer on, or no, that is it on standoffs or?
It's on. It's a little bit of tips here and there, but
yeah, let's jump into some layer by layer.
Okay, we're at we got about 7 minutes left, which is great. And let me get that started. Pedro, you want to let people know where they can get settings and.
Oh yeah, all the profile settings for all these are available on the learn.adafruit.com.
Pick up some Ninja Flex if you haven't already.
Yeah,
we got a coupon code for you.
We'll have black right now. We'll get more colors as they become available. Definitely want to get some gold or silver when they come out with that.
Yeah.
And of course some transparent. It's always good.
It is time for layer by layer, where we talk about layers. So this time I wanted to talk about some tips on when you're designing enclosure, of course. And here's typically what we would do, right? So I got my little box here, and I'm just going to hit J on my keyboard. And I'm going to go highlight the top area and just click on it, and that will give me a shell. Now this is a lot like what you would do, right, with an enclosure. I would put my thickness, and that's looking really sharp. So watch what happens when I add a fillet. I'll hit E on my keyboard and just click on the edges that I want to make a nice sort of fillet. And watch what happens when I start caving in. And take a look at the sharp edges, and watch what happens when I get too far. Now, if you get too far, you're going to see you're going to start eating away at the inside of it. And that's because it doesn't know that that there's an inner wall. So what we can do.
It's a nice fancy trick. Yeah, that's a nice fancy trick if you wanted to achieve that effect.
Sure. But what you would want to do, if you to make it a little bit more nicer, is to apply your fillets first. So now I'm going to apply the fillets before the shell. So just go ahead and click on it. And I will add my radius. And then I'll hit J on my keyboard again, and then we'll click on the top here to get my thickness up. But watch what happens when I start adjusting the thickness. Take a look at the inner radius. Do you see how it's dynamically changing? That's because it knows, hey, I better adjust my radius so that there's an even amount of material that will be printed in your enclosure. So that's just a cool little tip.
Order of operations. Yes. It'll always get you.
Thank you. Yeah. So you might want to like with my last project, the Super Game Pi, I left it unshelled so that people can modify the radiuses if they need to, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Sometimes you want a very curvy handheld. Sometimes you want a very sharp one.
Now, another thing a lot of people ask me is, well, how do I make my standoffs stronger, right? Because if you print them out, and when you're first starting out with print, maybe your adhesion isn't so good, and your standoff will break off. So here's a quick tip on how to make it a little bit stronger. So first thing you want to do is you'll want to apply a chamfer to the bottom edge here, where the enclosure surface is connecting the standoff. So here it is, right here. I'll just click on it, and now I'll apply a pretty hefty chamfer. And you see how it adds that more material to the standoff. This is going to make it a lot stronger when it prints out because there's more material leading up to the standoff. That's really cool. Another thing you want to do is, if you're making a standoff with a mounting screw in mind, you want to apply a chamfer to the bottom. And that is because, of course, this is your screw thread's going to fit through there, but the screw head is a lot bigger than the actual screw thread. So what you want to do is apply a chamfer to the bottom as well.
This will just make it flush up against the enclosure.
Absolutely, yeah.
It doesn't snag on anything.
Yeah, so if you fasten it all the way, and if you don't have a chamfer, I applied a fillet. You want to do a chamfer, not a fillet. There's the chamfer. And this really optimizes it too, so that when you print it, it'll print fairly well because the way the overhang is going upwards at that.
And it's a 1.5 mil chamfer that you're applying to that, right?
For this specific case, it's actually pretty big. Doesn't matter as long as it it makes sense to your project. So that's pretty much it. There's just a couple tips. I'll probably make a longer video about some more bits like that. But that's pretty much the layer by layer. We're going to try to do one every week where we do a YouTube sort of standalone version. Yeah. I also have one up right now that's going through some of the steps on making a case. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we have two different foam model cases that you can get up there. One of them has the buttons completely closed off. Switch back to camera there.
Yeah, sure.
One of them has the buttons completely beveled out and it's part of the case, and one of them has it completely open.
Do you want to go in the overhead?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
All right, so here's the one you designed with all the buttons.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we did that.
They're part of the
I like
case
that.
itself. A little bit more thicker. Like I said, if you're more prone to dropping phones, you definitely want to go with this model. A little bit more careful. You can get the model that I made. It has all the buttons all open, everything's all exposed, and it's I think a millimeter thinner than yours. So it'll definitely help.
It definitely feels it.
If you have small pockets, if you wear those hipster pants, you definitely want to get the smaller, thinner one.
Come on, man. Don't drag on my pants. I think that's the show, guys. Let me know in the comments below. I don't know.
So we're here every week, every Thursday, 3 p.m. If you guys want to follow us on social media.
Yeah, we got some links for you. Please check out learn.adafruit.com. That is where all our tutorials live and reside, waiting for you to check them out. Yeah, we also got some cool things on Google+. Yep. Where can people find the blog?
Blog is at adafruit.com/blog. Check every Thursday for all the 3D posts.
Follow Adafruit, myself, Pedro. We're on the social media places. So
yeah, check in for behind the scenes on what we're working on next. Give us a follow.
And don't forget, before we leave, you got a coupon code. Yeah.
10% off. Expires today at 11:59 p.m.
Sure does. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys spending the time to watch our show. Yeah. And let us know what you think. And we'll be sure to keep on printing. We'll be here next week. Everybody, say bye, Pedro.
See ya.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.